Thank you for joining me on a quilting tale today. My name is Shaylin, and in this video, I want to take you on a little quiltcation with me. For the last 9 years, almost every winter, my family and I have had the privilege of staying at this beautiful, cozy little resort called Snug Harbor on San Juan Island in Washington State. And we like to go in the winter because it's quieter, the rates are a little cheaper, and it's a nice little getaway in those blah winter months when there's not a lot going on. We've gone in November, December, January, February. This year we went in March. And so every month we've gone and stayed. It has been wonderful, just a peaceful little getaway. And this time I brought a few quilting projects to work on. And so I thought I would share some of the scenery and things that we did along the way, as well as the projects. It is the most relaxing environment. I look forward to going every year, and I hope you enjoy getting to experience a little bit of it with me in this video. So this trip includes a lovely ferry ride that's a little over an hour long from Anacortes, Washington to Friday Harbor on San Juan Island, and that's where this video is going to begin. I thought I'd share my progress on all my sashing pieces. I got them finished. So these are the pin cushions. And these ones were probably the most work, just trying to make sure that all the points lined up, including these lines here. There were lots of vertical seams to align, and then just making sure the tips didn't get cut off in such small pieces. So to do that, I really worked on poking a pin through the little intersection point under my fingernail there where that V is, just poking a pin through that side. And on the other side, the way they're pressed open, you can see they make a little V shape. And so right above my fingernail there, I just was making sure that my pen went through where those seams intersect, and then also lined up the vertical seams with pins. So a lot of pinning helped to keep those points intact. I did notice an error in the pattern, and I did not check her website to see if there were any corrections, but the pieces up top here were oriented the wrong way, and it wasn't until I saw a later diagram how they should look. So I did have to take some pieces apart and just change the direction of the little leaf pieces, but they're really cute. I did fussy cut some of them. Like this one, the word "the" soft breeze dances in my hair. I couldn't fit "the," so I really tried to make sure I could get soft breeze dances in my hair with a 1/4 inch on each side. And then same thing on this one. I tried to get the big group of flowers right in the middle there. So a little bit of fussy cutting. These ones were a little more finicky than the others, but really cute. So after those pin cushions, I was really excited to get a simple one and just do the pin dishes. And I did go ahead and put a purple one in there. It has a little bit of that coral in the flower centers, but I just wanted to tie in a bit more purple into the quilt because the April block had just a tiny bit and I wanted it to be somewhere else. Here are my jars, and I went with a blushy, dusty pink in these ones. I used mostly florals. This one is such a soft grayish pink in the background, and this one was more geometric, so I put a floral lid on it. I used some different grayish taupe color fabrics that I had in my stash for the lids, but these ones were really easy to piece as well. And then I saved the easiest for last because I had made all these bottom bases ahead of time. All I had to do was cut these longer strips, and there's going to be 4 of these. So this came together in just a few minutes. Just cutting those long rectangles was the hardest part. So really simple to make. And again, the bases are folded according to the pattern directions, where one is folded toward the brown, one is folded toward the white, so that they'll lock in with any of the little shelf pieces to my blocks. So when I get home, I will place these on my design wall with the others. I didn't bring the backing fabric for my Year of Sewing Machines quilt because that is a pieced backing, and I suppose I could have worked on that too. But I did bring some hand projects. These are projects that I also want to finish this year. One of them being my crochet fusion quilt. So I've been working on these squares, just blanket stitching around these squares that have batting in the middle. They all have this for the background, and then some of that fabric is the front side, so it's on both. But I did go ahead and blanket stitch around a few more of these while watching a movie, and I'll get them to my mom to crochet the trim around the edges. And since she's done so many of those already, we're getting close. I think I'm going to start blocking these, and that's just squaring them up using water and pinning them down into a square shape with the crocheted trim on them. So I'm going to start doing that when I get home. And that way, by the time I'm done blanket stitching all the squares, all 120 of them, and my mom is done with the trim, I'll be able to quickly start putting the top together. So there's a little update on that quilt. And finally, last night I had a bit of time to cut out some pieces, fussy cut some pieces for another accent piece for my extravaganza quilt. So I just have them in my travel board here. The little strap keeps the board tightly on it to stay in place. So this is going to be my ferry project. When we take the ferry home, it's about, I don't know, a little over an hour of a ferry ride. So I should be able to get a lot of this stitched together. I won't be able to press it with the iron, so I'll have to do that part at home, but I will definitely show you this when it's finished as well. This place really is my slice of winter paradise. Getting to come here every year, this time in March, so close to the spring, and seeing everything about to bloom or just budding and green, it really is special, and I feel fortunate to get to come here. And this time, bringing all my sewing projects just made these overcast, rainy days even more enjoyable, and just not being on a timeline, just getting to go out when there's breaks in the weather and see some beautiful sights. I just couldn't ask for more, and I just leave every time with my heart feeling full and just lots of good memories with my family. And I'm happy I got to share a bit of it with you this time.
I don't really like it. You want some?
now that I'm back home, I've placed all those sashing strips where I want them to go between the blocks. I really like how they're distributed. I just kind of followed the layout that Heather had in her pattern and how she laid out her blocks. And so now I just have to sew the top together, connecting the blocks to the sashing strips in rows. There are some skinny, just background fabric sashing strips to go between the rows that I'll also have to make. And then I also have the scalloped border and the pieced backing to do. So I still have a ways to go to finish this quilt top. It might take me to the end of March, we'll see. But I'm going to keep working on it, and I'll be sure to show you what it looks like when it's all finished. And finally, here's that finished accent piece for my Hextravaganza quilt. I sewed most of it on the ferry, but did have to wait till I was home to press it flat and connect some of the rows together. You can see those sweet little mice there holding the strawberries. English paper piecing really lends itself to fussy cutting fabric. You can see I did the same with the birds in these poppy cotton fabrics. And then I just had some little roses for accent pieces. It's just fun to put the different hexagons together and make different designs. So this is a project I will continue working on. I just have a couple more of this particular shape to make, and then I have my round pieces that I need to finish, and they will all get appliqued on to my quilt top and then eventually hand sewn. So still quite a bit to do on this project, but it's nice, even if it's just a little at a time, to make some progress. So there's still quite a bit to do, but I always enjoy picking this project up again and working on it, even if it's just to make one little piece or for a day or two. I know the results are going to be worth it. I hope you enjoyed seeing some progress being made on a few projects that I hope to finish this year, and that you enjoyed the scenery of beautiful San Juan Island and Snug Harbor. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.